Hi, this is Sarah, the Stitchin Mommy, and it's Monday, April 19th, and I'm here for my weekly cross-stitching update. And if you'll notice, I'm in a new location. If you remember, if you've been watching me for a while, or if you've watched some of my old videos, you will know that this used to be my normal filming location. This is my stitchy spot, and it's in the main room of the house. So a year and a month ago, when all of my family decided to come home, or didn't decide, was forced to come home because of COVID, I moved upstairs so that I could keep making videos in a quiet space. But today, all three of my children are at school. My younger ones, starting today, are going full-time back at school, so yay! And my older son still has part-time, but he is gone this morning, so I'll need to go pick him up in about 45 minutes, so hopefully I will get through at least my main stitching. I'm contemplating making a second separate video for my memorabilia voting, because I may not get to that in the same chunk, and I could tack it on at the end, but it might be fun to make it a separate video anyways. So if it's at the end, it's at the end. If not, I think, yeah, I'll just decide right now. I'll make it a separate video, just to keep it helpfully separate. So my memorabilia Mania plans and the voting for which one I will start in on the 1st of May, I'll put in another video, which should come out also today or tomorrow. So let's get started. First of all, I thought we would do the giveaways. I have my, let's see, there we go. I have my YouTube comment picker here ready to go with the words for these charts that I was giving away last time. I guess let's start with Halloween, because I think that's the order I showed them last time. Halloween. So there are 100 comments. Oh wait, yeah, 100 total comments. 23 had the word Halloween in it. And I will say start. And Isabel, Hade Addict with Crafts. Congratulations! I always love watching your videos and seeing your progress. Two of my favorite seasons are Christmas and Halloween. So yay, there you go. So you, Isabel, get the Halloween quilt. It has suggestions for Halloween fabric, but you could do it in any fabric you want. It's just a pretty triangle pattern. That's the example. So congratulations. And let's do the next one. This one will be the Christmas one, which is some triangles, some squares, and they give you fabric suggestions for 3 different holidays, or you could do it just in random florals if you would like, or solids, or whatever floats your boat. So let's see, this one has 21 unique comments for Christmas. And Janet Jabber, yay! Another great video. I would love to check out the stars or make a Christmas blanket. So now you can make the Christmas blanket. So congratulations, Janet, you get the Christmas one. And let's see, the next one we'll do is the Welcoming and Cheerful. This is number 9 of the Prim Stitch series, and this is the one I'm working on right now. I think we chose the word cheerful for this one. And there are 40 unique comments on this one. And Char J57, this is, you comment a lot. Thank you for your comments. And you always have a timestamp to let me know exactly what you're talking about, which is helpful sometimes. Iris is one of my favorite flowers. Your Hade is beautiful. You're too close to a finish. I could not sleep until I finished it. That's true. I'm getting to that point where I'm like, can I just keep going? Stars on Christmas night makes me cheerful. So you get the cheerful one. Thank you. Or congratulations and thank you. So that's exciting. It's nice that I'm recognizing some of these names as people who are Flosstube regulars. And the last one was Stitchy Stars. And this is the keyword was stars. There were 75 unique comments for stars, the most popular one. And Diane, I think you won one time a few weeks ago or a month ago or something. Congratulations. Thanks again for the catch up on your gorgeous whips. I would love to do some, but as usual, time is a big factor. I don't have 104-hour days. Wouldn't that be nice? I would like that too. The stars pattern has lovely colors. So there you go. Congratulations, you get the stars. So all of you ladies, let me know your mailing address and I will get those in the mail to you, hopefully this week. And I'll have to figure out a place to to put my email up here, stitchinmommy7@gmail.com, and let me know your mailing address and I'll get that out to you. I might still be able to find Diane's because she won recently, but I don't think any of the rest of you have won before, so make sure to get me your address. And that's exciting, so congratulations. Okay, now on to what I've been working on this week. So let's start with travel stitching, which has been minimal, but I think it's going to pick up here pretty soon. So I'll start with my typography. I think technically I could work on the P today because this last day was yesterday. So I could do the P today, but I don't know if I will. I might. We'll see what I feel like. But I did the A. No, I did do the P. I think it's maybe the R that I could do today. So I did the A last time. So here is AP for April. I did the P midweek, sometime early week actually. So this is my temperature typography, one of the temperature designs in my Etsy shop. This is on 28 count pale blue. It's really washing out. Maybe I have the windows open a little bit too much, but that's okay. It's a pale blue 28 count even weave. I'm doing it 1/1, and it's pretty fun. So far, like these two chunks of color were actually 2 days each. We had the same temperature 2 days in a row and then 2 days in a row again. And it did get cooler. And I think the first day of the R is actually going to be purple again. Or maybe really dark blue. It might be this color. But yeah, it got chilly. And it's going to do the seesaw thing more. It seems like today is supposed to be pretty hot. The hottest yet, I think. It'll be 87 maybe. But then it's supposed to dip down into the 60s again, and then it'll go back up into the 80s. So it'll make for a colorful pattern this year. So that'll be fun. This one, I didn't work on it hardly at all this week, but I did get a couple stitches in. This is my Welcoming and Cheerful, number 9 of the Prim Stitch series. And here's my meager progress. All I did was the tiny bit of teal around that flower. I didn't pull this out hardly at all. We didn't have as much TV time to stitch. I didn't have as much travel time to stitch, but my hope is that, well, let me tell you first. This is 25 count vintage cloth in the color Prim, and I'm doing it 1/1 with random specialty stitches that I just kind of choose as I go. Travel stitching. Because my kids are now full-time at school with the entire student body there, except for the few kids that have chosen to be 100% online, there'll be a larger group getting picked up at the same time, which means I will probably need to get there early and stitch while I wait in the carpool line, which I haven't had to do yet. So that will mean my travel stitching will get some love, which will be very exciting. I'm excited about that. So starting today, I should be able to get like 15 minutes every day while I'm waiting for my kids in the car. So so expect to see a little bit more progress on that next week. And then I had forgotten about this, but this is number 10 I got in the mail for the Prim Stitch series. This one has a kitty. It's called Love and Friendship. So it's got some black-eyed Susans and a kitty with a bird on its back and another quilt star. They all have to have a quilt star. So that's really cute. My daughter loves cats, so she's excited about that. I'll have to figure out what kind of specialty stitch I'll do for the cat, because it's mostly solid except for that star in the middle. So it'll be fun to pick a specialty stitch that'll be fur-like. All right, last Monday was Mill Hill Monday for me. What I do for my version of Mill Hill Monday is just get 2 or 3 links of thread on this. So I did more background. This is Winged Monarch. Mine is a buttons and beads kit. You can also, there's also Mill Hills that are smaller, like magnet or pin size. And here is where I got to. I think it was just 2 lengths of thread, so not a lot, but it's progress, and so I hope to pull this out again a little bit today. I do still work on my main piece in the evenings, but this I try to get to in like the afternoon or early evening, either while my video is being edited or during family dinner or just whenever. So I believe it would be over here and then down this side is where I stitched. So just more background. As soon as the background's done, I'm going to start beading, and that'll be fun. And they call a lot of times I'll pick my beads on my Mirabilias based on the background color of the fabric so that I can do lots of different colors of beads with the same thread. Sometimes you can see the thread next to it, but that doesn't usually bother me too much unless the bead is nestled inside stitching, and then it might stand out too much. The instructions in the kit give you a specific thread color to use for each bead, and so I'm thinking I might try it their way. Since it's my first mill hill, I'll go ahead and follow the directions and stitch it color by color with the recommended DMC floss with each bead. So, and they also have a full cross on petite stitches. I'm not sure I'm going to go that far because I mean the petite beads, because yes, the petite beads can fit vertically. If you do the full cross, the bead will sit vertically. If you do a half cross, the bead's going to sit at an angle, which is helpful for fitting in the space. But I don't know that I want to go to that much work. So we'll see. I'll cross that bridge when I get there. So maybe in a few weeks I'll be able to start beading. Going slow, but slow and steady wins the race. So going forward, I think that's all of my random stuff. I'll talk about my actual main stitching. So I had a new start this week. Purple Pansy by Carolyn Manning Designs. This is my first Carolyn Manning Designs, and I've seen a lot of you working on her stuff. There's a lot of geometric shapes that I've seen people work on, and they're pretty, but they've never really appealed to me with the style of stitching that I like to do and what I'm willing to, how much monotonous stitching I'm willing to do. But then I went and found this one, and it's all back stitching. I personally wouldn't consider this black work because it's more outlining shapes, whereas black work to me feels like you're filling in a space with a pattern. And maybe there's both involved in black work, I don't know. But to me this feels like she's outlining the shapes with the back stitching. I decided to use a Sulky pack, Sulky Petites Blendables that I had gotten for my birthday a year or two ago, and all but this one's too variegated, but all of these were slightly variegated, and I'm pairing that with Mistletoe by Color and Cotton because it needed a nice green instead of this primary color variegated. So that's what I'm using, and I decided to use 18 count, and here is my start. This is light blue Ada. I'm really happy with that. It's kind of fun. It's not the same colors as hers. It's not purple, but there's pinks and blues in the flower and yellows, and then the green in the leaves. And this was one day I did the middle flower, and then the second day I did like this much, or this is like one string of 2 strings worth of green that I did on the second day. So not bad. Beyond this, get all these leaves done, then there's some other things around the edge as well. So there's still a good amount to do, and I didn't leave a lot of border, but I liked this. This is some 18 count Ada. That's a better representation of the color. That was a remnant from my temperature tree kits that I have in my shop, which sadly the 18 count and 14 count have been on back order since November. I'm really sorry. I'm getting it from Witchelt, and they are getting it directly from the manufacturer, and they don't know when it's coming. I think 18 count is one of those that it's sold out everywhere, and the manufacturers are not producing it fast enough. It's all backed up because of COVID, but I'm hoping soon I'll be able to restock those kits. But anyways, this was a remnant. It was too small for my kit, but I was able to have a wide enough piece without a severe like crease in it. So I wanted to do that. Like the 14 count that I had a very hard crease right down the middle because I didn't want the hard crease that came when the fabric was folded on the bolt. I didn't want that hard crease given to my customers, so the remnant that was left over was a hard crease. And so I'm like, those are hard to get out. So I decided I would just go with the softer creases and the 18 count, and I like that. And it works well so far for back stitching. This is one strand of the Color and Cotton, which is thinner than the Sulky, but I think it works. And now I'm curious to try the actual cross stitching, because I've heard cross stitching on 18/32 or 36/2 is kind of the sweet spot for sulky coverage looking the best. So now I'm curious to try that at some point. I have to find just the right pattern for it. So that was fun. I did 2 days on that. And then I got out Knitting Woman for one day. This is my full coverage golden kite I'm doing for my mom, because this reminds me of her. And so I pulled this out for at least one day every month. And let's see, I need to remember my old setup because it's been a while. I got kind of in the habit of what I was doing upstairs, and now I gotta come back to figure this out. So this is Knitting Woman. This is a 2-strand half stitch over 1 on 22 count Aida, and the coverage is sparse, but when you stand back, you know, like you are now, it's not too bad. Get up close, you can see a lot of show through, especially in the dark colors, but it works. So this is how far I got in one day. I believe I got 219 half stitches, so that's decent for a one day. It feels like I can get about 200 stitches a day. And a lot of skin colors again throughout here. And I think I might have even finished a color. I think almost every color I used, maybe the first 3 colors, and then I did a little bit on a 4th color, but the first 3 colors I think were all solids, which is kind of unheard of on a golden kite. A lot of the colors are blends. But I think that's turning out really well. It's starting to come together, filling in the arms and things, so that's cool. And again, I'll bring this out. I won't bring it out in May because I'm going to focus in on my Mirabilias in May, but it'll come out again for one day every month until November, and then I'll try to give it a whole week in November. And then I worked a little bit more on my Celtic Ladies sampler. This is one that I'm recharting. I have all of the Celtic Ladies for the seasons, the 4 seasons, and I've decided to crop them and put them together in a sampler. I did a little bit more charting this week too, so that's another thing that took me away from stitching a little bit of time. But I finished charting the Spring Woman. I charted the summer words down here. I didn't have those filled in yet, and then centered all the ladies within their box. So like autumn went from here to here, and then I centered it within the box. So I think that looks nice. So they're all finished, and so I just need to finish Summer's Lady, and then this will be ready to share with you. I'm not going to share the whole pattern because that would be copyright infringement, because all of this is from Lavender and Lace. I just am reorganizing it a little bit, but I will offer you the outline of all the elements so that you know where everything can be placed if you already own the charts. So when I get that ready, it'll probably still be a few more months, I'm guessing, at the rate that I have time to design stuff, but it's coming, and I'll let you know when it's ready. So I'm doing this on 32 count lamb's wool linen because I thought that would be a nice backdrop for all the different seasons, and I got a little bit more accomplished on this. So this is where I got to. I did these 2 letters in the DMC, and then I added 1 strand of Petite Treasure braid, which is very nice. I haven't used the Petite Treasure braid very much, but I do like it. I was able to do a nice long string length of thread, and it stayed sparkly all the way till the end pretty much. And so I think I used like 2 feet maybe, and for cry neck I think I can have to do 12 to 18 inches. So and I have to use a big needle also for cry neck. That helps, using a size 24 needle, short lengths. But for the Petite Treasure Braid regular needle, I think I was using a 26 for this one, and a longer 24 inches. So that's nice. I like that. So that's how far I got on one day on that. A little bit better start compared to last time when I only got one day on it. I got one more day on it. That every little bit helps. I'm hoping, I'm not sure when I will pull that out again. June is the technical first day of summer in the Northern Hemisphere, so I'll probably bring it out in June, and it would be nice to start the summer chunk in June. So I would have to do some more border work to get down to the summer. So I'll need to make sure to, I probably won't get to it again until June, so I'll probably make sure to give it like 3 days maybe, so I can have some time to get down there and then spend a couple days on the summer section. So that's kind of my thoughts going forward. I'd like to bring it out at least once a season, but I need to make sure to give it 2 or 3 days each season so that you can, you know, start to see something. And then the rest of the time I worked on my stitching shelf by Heaven and Earth Designs, because it was Confetti Conquistadors in Full Coverage Fanatics, and that meant we worked on the piece with the most confetti. And confetti is a term we use in cross stitching to describe a section of your piece that has a whole bunch of colors that are just random all over the place. There's no blocks of color. There are some sections in this. There's a few sections with blocks of color, but especially where I was up here, there's sections where like the 10 by 10 square of your chart will have maybe 83 colors in it. There's a lot of different color changes. And this is the max color, regular size version, so there are quite a few color changes. I was focusing on working in my parked threads, because I have still some parked threads from when I was parking, and I've decided not to park anymore, so I would like to get those stitched in. And I didn't get them all stitched in because there were a lot, but I got a good amount of them stitched in, so I'm happy with that. And I don't know if I'll even be able to get this in now that I'm sitting so close. Oh yeah, I can. You can even see a little bit. So here is the whole thing. This is on 28 count tea-dyed Monaco that I don't think you can find this size anymore. You can find tea-dyed Monaco in smaller sizes, a variety of places, but this is the before and after of what I worked on this week in particular. So quite a bit actually. I think it was 715 half stitches. So you can see in here there's a good amount of work that I did, but there's still a few stitches here and a few down here. But all of these that were in the flowers, which are super heavy confetti, got stitched in, and they went all the way across the top, some down here, some over here, maybe even that, I don't know. And then there was some in the key and in the greenery and in the door. And some down here too. So quite a few stitches that I got to work in. I thought I would show you as well, because I'm carrying a lot in order to get to all these ninja stitches everywhere. So I thought I'd show you my back. So that's what it's looking like now. I carry all over the place. It's super thick. It's very, very stiff over here. Very, very thick because of all the confetti. And I don't think all the sections are going to be like that, but from what I've heard, this first page has probably one of the thickest confetti of the entire piece. So that is accurate because these roses are no joke. So yeah, thought I would share that. And that was fun. Part of me was tempted to want to keep going and today and tomorrow to keep working on this to get those park threads finished. But I think I'm ready for a break, and I like my next project. I haven't worked on that in a few months, so I think it would be fun to just save this for later and tackle that another time. And I think it'll take me 2 or 3 days to get the rest of those done, so I'll need to make sure to plan for that when I bring that out again. So that was what I worked on this week. So I will share my plans for this coming week and then take a break and then do my Mirabilia showcase in a little bit. So, oh yeah, that's right. My iris. I can't forget my iris. This is one I'm doing every day. This is by Josephine Wall. It's a Heaven and Earth Designs. It's a quick stitch, so it's very small, 150 by 177, not big at all, but it is a Hade. And I'm really enjoying it. I'm getting close, and I think I noticed I'm past the 90% complete mark, because Pattern Keeper tells you how many stitches you finished and percentage complete. So this is where I'm at now. And this is on 25 count white, even weave 1/1, and super happy. A lot has gotten filled in. I got a little bit put into this big yawning open space here, a little bit everywhere else. There were some days that I got more than 65. I did 101 on Tuesday, 71, 87, 71 again, 109 again, and 69. So there were some big stitching days. I do this for at least 65 stitches every day except for Monday when I do my Mill Hill kit for my bonus piece instead. So this is coming along pretty well. I'm kind of expecting it. I haven't done the math recently, but I'm expecting to finish this in May. That would be really cool. So, and one more that I remembered, not this one. On Friday, I did some stitching with Desiree of The Addicted Stitcher. And when we stitch together, we like to work on this project together. His name is Jesus by Joyful Expressions. And you can go to their website, and if you sign up for your newsletter, this chart is free. They also have other patterns and needle minders and things for sale. So this is where I got to. I did one more length of thread. I usually can get one length of thread done while we're talking. And I worked over here on Mighty God. I'd already gotten my thread ready before I remembered that I still needed to do the word one, the anointed one, right here. But I just went with it because I already had pulled the string. So this is actually the end of the piece. So I made it, this is how wide mine's gonna be. This is 28 count ivory even weave, or Lugana is a specific even weave. 28 count ivory Lugana. And I'm doing it 1/1 with Victorian Motto sampler threads. And so I did one length of blue. So next time I'll probably finish out the word God and do the word one, because those are both small things. They're not, neither one of them will take a whole length of thread, so I'll probably be able to get both of those things done while we're talking. And since I'm here in my stitchy spot, I can show you the threads that I'm planning to use. This is blue sampler, and then the red is Garden Rose, and the gold is being persnickety. That one is Golden Sandstone. So those are the Victorian mottos that I'm working on, that I decided to pick for this piece. And I think I'm excited to see how the gold looks as well. And then I'll know for sure that I made the right choice in the colors. So I'll pull that out again, likely in 2 weeks, because that's how often we visit. All right, so now I can go to plans. I think that's everything I worked on this week. So plans going forward into this coming week. I will work on 2 pieces that I had chosen for the theme in the bookshelf challenge at Full Coverage Fanatics, which was children's books. They were doing a secret garden, and one of the themes was garden. One of the themes was whimsy. They had Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe as well, and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So one of the ones I thought would be fun for the children's theme was this one. My Young Gardener. This is by The Art of Stitching. I actually won this in a giveaway at one point. So I'm kind of up here, but it's very sporadic. There's a lot of confetti in the background, in the leaves. So I pick one. Now that I'm in Pattern Keeper, I pick a color and just kind of tackle it wherever it appears. So it's kind of sprinkled all around here. But I'm excited to spend a couple days on this. It's been a little while. And this is on 40 count white even weave, Verdal even weave, 1/1 half stitches. So I got a little bit started on the mom's head as well, her hat there, and it is kind of washing out a little bit. There we go, that's a little better. So this corner is the most finished because I am trying to go across the top and pick symbols, and then I'll work them in however far they go. And I need to be careful to choose small lengths of thread, because on 40 count 1/1, one length of thread goes a really long way. So I don't want a huge long length of thread because I don't want to have to count much farther than this. At the moment, I want to kind of keep it up here so I can try to fill this in before I go too far down. So that's where I'm starting from. I'll spend 2 days on that. So I'm excited about that one. It's also kind of appropriate for spring because they're in the garden getting ready for, the colors are kind of autumnal, and you could also claim it's like a summer piece with all the flowers that are blooming. But you do a lot of gardening in the spring, so it works for almost every season except for winter. So the next piece I'm gonna do also goes along with the theme for like whimsy, is my Bear Time stories. And this is another Heaven and Earth Designs. Randall Spangler is the artist. That's pretty whimsical. Teddy bear reading a bedtime story to 2 baby dragons, and they're eating a chocolate chip cookie, which kind of goes with the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory as well. So I will give this one 3 days, actually. Oops, sorry. I really want to get this first color finished. I'm doing this one mostly extreme cross country. It's another 40 count even weave, 1/1 half stitches, just like the other one. So this is the week of 40 count. So that's where I'm starting. This is the entire piece. This is the bottom. So I have this corner left to like fill in the outline of the bear paw and, you know, whatever else is in the corner. With this first color that I just happened to pick. I think this is possibly the first color in the design up here in the upper left, and then I just did it everywhere because it was everywhere. I'm like, oh, that's fun. Let's try that. My son would like me to choose colors from specific places, not just in the upper corner. So I will next choose a main color in the bear. So it'd be fun to be able to finish out this dark orange color and then start in on a bear color in the next 3 days, or in the 3 days I have it scheduled for this week. So that's my plan. I have a little bit of this orange on my needle already, so that'll be fun. I'm excited about that. And then I will segue back into more stitching for my son and work on Dragon Ride, which is by Teresa Winsler. And I'll work on this on Saturday. And he's been wanting me to work on the neck, so I haven't started much of this like purpley red violet patch of his under neck belly area, so I will work on that probably this time. And any stitches that are left on my thread, on my needle of that color will probably end up over here in the, down here in the wing. So here is Dragon Ride right now. This is 28 count, light blue even weave by MCG Textiles. Used to be at Hobby Lobby, but now they have a Artiste brand sourced by Zweigart. So this is my starting point. I'm thinking in September I'll definitely work more on the border as well as the dragon when I give this a whole week. But when I only give it one day, it's nice to kind of focus in on the dragon and do more. I'll do an up close for this portion because this is the area that I'll probably do some more work. And the lighting is definitely different over here. It's coming from my side, whereas upstairs the light was in front of me. So it's taken some getting used to, but it still works. So there's that one. I'll give that one day as well. And I think that's my last family piece for the month of April. Sunday is the 25th, which means part 2 of the Cozy Cafe Club by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery will be released. So this is part 1 that I printed out. This is their 2021 year-long Mystery Sal. It didn't start until March because they were having trouble with supplies for the kits that they were offering. I'm doing mine with my fabric and flosses from my stash. And I'm excited to see what part 2 will be. From what I gather, here's mine. This is on 20. I need to iron this. I haven't ironed it at all. It just came straight out of the package. I need to serge it. So anyways, I just wanted to get started. This is 25 count vintage cloth in the color Prim. It's the same stuff I'm doing the Prim Stitch series on. Doing it 1/1, so it's really tiny and cute. And this is all of part 1 is finished. I altered it to say raspberry cocoa instead of raspberry mocha since I don't care for coffee. And then I changed the border colors to be fancy flosses. And I think the part 2 will be over here at the far side. So there's going to be a drink in the middle, and then this is part 2, and I think this is part 3. So for some reason they did it that way. I don't know why. So these are parked because potentially it looks like maybe at least some of these borders will continue this way to help us anchor that one. So I'll just keep going when they give us the pattern to see where those go. So that's my start on that one. And I have this down for 3 days because I want to try to get a good chunk of it or all of it finished before the next one comes out. So you'll see a portion of this done next Monday, but I will have 2 more days next week on it as well to try to finish that up. And potentially with extra travel stitching time now, if the 3 days I give it isn't enough, I could maybe finish it out in the car. So we'll have to wait and see about that. I also may work on Those Who Sing by the Drawn Thread this week while I talk to Colette, the Highway Stitcher. So I didn't bring it out because just in case. With all of those visit stitching, it's nice to just show it that week I have progress just in case something comes up, because you never know. Life happens. So I think that's everything I have to show you. Yeah. So that's all I have for my regular cross-stitching update. I've got 5 minutes to spare, so perfect timing. I will have to come back later, and I may actually take my Mirabilias upstairs so I can film them today after my son's home. So I will sign off now, and I'll come back and do my Mirabilia segment later. Just to clarify, during the month of May, traditionally, there was a event, I suppose, called Stitch Mania, where people would, originally it was in 2015, and they decided to stitch on a new start every day from the 1st to the 15th. So they had 15 new starts. And some people now have continued with the first 15 days with 15 new starts. Some people now match it to the year. So they might, this year would do 21 new starts, the first 21 days in May. Some people like to, if they started something on that particular day last year, they'll stitch on again that particular day. If one of their Mania starts from the previous year is finished, they get a new start. So there's a lot of variety regarding the new starts. Some people, myself included, in 2019 when I had a no new start year, I worked on Monogamous Mania, where I actually worked on my stitching shelf for the entire month of May and tried to work on going around on the shelves and doing the different starting in on the different scenes. So that's why it looks all like there's a little bit of stitching everywhere. I did that during Mania a couple years ago. So you can really do whatever you want with Mania. I know some people are working on a bunch of little things for Mania so they can maybe finish them and not start a bunch of huge things. For me, I thought it would be fun to do Mirabilia Mania because I've been focusing so much on full coverage now that I have Pattern Keeper, which is really fun, that I have been neglecting my fancy ladies, which I do love. So I have Nora Corbett's, I have Joan Elliott's, I have Lavender and Lace. They will not be coming out in Mania, just things with the Mirabilia label. So I have 9 Mirabilias already started. I'll be giving each one 3 days, and I'll be giving a new start. Maybe I'll give the new start 4 days because I know I have a bonus day in there. So I'll give the new start 4 days or 3, and then on the 31st I'll decide what I want to do. I still haven't decided yet. But I have 7 Mirabilias kitted with a piece of fabric. So you guys are going to vote to see which one I'll start on the 1st. So I'll put that up soon in a companion video and you guys can start voting. And then next Monday, I will need to decide what to work on because the 1st is next Saturday. So that'll be fun. So stay tuned for that as well. And I hope to enjoy the rest of this week. I hope you have a wonderful time stitching and whatever else you're working on, and happy stitching. Bye.